Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little while and I've gone about 20 shades darker. So basically I've come back from the Philippines and I just wanted to make a video about my experience going there. Basically it's a different kind of video. It's not as upbeat as I normally do my videos because my experience in the Philippines wasn't that great, and I think it's really weird because I feel like the whole experience has changed me a little bit as a like 4 days, where the part I was El Nido, I was only there for 4 days, but it was literally the worst 4 days of my whole entire life. So basically I went to the Philippines for 2 weeks because the Philippines is made up of hundreds of islands. I went to a couple of the ones that you can go to, and the country in itself is beautiful. Like, the country is beautiful, the scenery is beautiful, you know, blue waters, you can look down, see fishes. It's like, you know, it's like paradise in a way. It's a beautiful country. I went to a place called El Nido for 4 days and it was the worst 4 days of my entire life. Like, I might get a bit emotional because it was the worst experience I've ever had going to any country. Like, it was just, I've never felt so unattractive. So I felt like I was luminous. Like, whenever I stepped out, I had people pointing, sorry, I had people pointing, I had people laughing, I had people giving me the most hideous comments ever. I was called a fat ugly monkey. I was called just fat girl, big black fat girl. I was called like the most horrendous things you can ever, like, if I was at home, shit would have popped off. If I was at home, I would have had something to say. My fists would have been flying because I feel like that's very disrespectful. But when you're in another country, you feel like, what's the point arguing with people that you don't speak the same language on? I feel like I'm not explaining myself properly because the emotions are getting to me, but really it was just, my confidence, my Elaine-ness was gone. Like, I became a shadow of my former self. I wasn't eating properly. I didn't want to leave the hotel. The only way I wanted to leave the hotel is if I was with my friends. I didn't want to, like, go out on the street by myself because I just felt like I was an easy target. Like, if someone had stuff to say, like this woman in a shop buying like some water, she grabs my stomach. I was like, fat, and I was just like, I lost my shit. Like, I was just like, I need to go back to the hotel. My friend had gone. I didn't want to do day trips because people would be like, oh, you have to pay twice because you're fat. You have to pay twice. Like, when we got into these like little cycles, they're called, but they're like tuk-tuks. If you've ever been to Thailand, like that, they'll be like, oh no, you have to pay twice because you're fat. You have to pay twice. And my friend like lost it twice over there. She was like, that's so rude. You can't say that. But I don't know how I didn't lose it, but I didn't. I just became into myself more. I became very unhappy, and then I got ill out there as well. So I was ill. I had people chatting shit constantly. There wasn't a time that I felt 100% comfortable. And I felt sorry for my friend because it was her birthday and she really wanted to go to this El Nido because of lagoons and everything like that. And I wanted to see them, but I didn't get to see them because I wasn't going to go on a boat and be stuck there and be made to feel like shit, because that's how it would have been. And I think it was a combination of everything. Like, obviously I'm tall, I'm like 5'10", I'm black. I was getting blacker by the second as I was out there, which I loved. and I was fat, and I think it was all the combinations that obviously people couldn't handle, because there was other black people there. There was black men everywhere. You can go to Timbuktu, you can see a Nigerian man. So black people were everywhere. But it was like everybody else was fine, but it was just me. Like, when a whole group of people turn and laugh at you and point at you, as confident as I was, because my confidence has disintegrated into pieces, and as confident as I was, like, that was, it was awful. Like, we left after 4 days, and we went to another part. We went to Cebu, and we went to another island. Even when I went to Manila, it was fine. Cebu was fine, but that part, and we were there technically the longest in that part as well. That part was just ridiculous. And I don't know, because I haven't got a boyfriend or anything, do you know when you just needed to hear someone tell you that, Elaine, shush, you're cute, like, Elaine, you're fine, you're pretty, like, I just needed like someone to tell me I know this is really self-resourced, but I really needed someone to be like, like, people did, like, my mum was like, they're chatting shit, my friends were like, don't listen to them. But you know when you need that person to be like, Elaine, like, don't worry, you're beautiful to me, da da da. And because I didn't have that as well, I just felt I was very vulnerable, and I'm not a vulnerable person, but I was very, very vulnerable in the whole situation. And I will not be going to the Philippines again. Never, ever, 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 ever. My foot is never stepping on that soil. For all the people that have been and loved it, it's a beautiful place. I understand why you would go back. But for me, the way I was ridiculed and made to feel, I don't think they even thought about my feelings in the whole situation, like, anyway, because I've never been, I feel like I was bullied I know I don't want to throw out the word bully and this that, but for them 4 days I felt like I was being bullied. And another word that I hate, because everybody uses it on YouTube, everybody has anxiety, but literally I didn't want to leave the hotel room. And if my friend was just left me there, I would have just gone to the shop quickly, come back and sat there and watched telly. Like, I did not want to leave the hotel. It took so much energy for me to leave the hotel room, because I've never had this feeling before. It was horrible, horrible feeling. And I feel like it's changed me in a bad way. Like, the whole holiday has changed me in a bad way. I feel like I'm always up here promoting self-confidence and do this and be who you want to be. And for the first time, my confidence is completely, it's this. It was this, and now it's this. It's hardly anything, because I felt like they just broke me. And I know this seems quite extreme for 4 days but I felt like it was 4 days of torture. Not even joking. 4 days. Like, why am I up on YouTube crying? Because it was 4 days. Do you have my hair, by the way? Anyway, 4 days of torture. Like, it wasn't. I wanted to come home, and I've never been on holiday where I've wanted to come home, where I've been counting in my head, counting down the days for me to come back to London, where I'm just accepted of who I am. And I feel like it shows that maybe people that look like me don't travel enough around the world, I don't know, or the ignorance of certain Filipino people. Because everybody has the internet, everybody's seen fat people, everybody's seen black people, everybody's seen tall people. You're sitting there, you're singing Bob Marley back to me, but you're acting like I'm a fucking freak from the world, fat girl walking. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. And everybody thought I was American, what was hilarious, which is cool. Everybody thought I was American because they could not digest that black people come from the UK. Everybody, where are you from? England? No, you can't be from England. Your skin not from England. My skin not from England. Sorry. Like, it was just bizarre, and I feel like it's definitely changed me as a person. Like, I'm still really, I just feel really weird about myself and about certain things about me, and yeah, it's just not great. It's not great, is it really, when someone makes you feel like shit? And I thought, when I left, I thought I was cute to the cute. Oh, I thought I was, and now I just feel like shit. But yeah, I think it's just one of these things that I have to work on. And yeah, like, if you've ever gone through anything like this or felt like this, like, your comments would be nice to know that I'm not the only one that's kind of going through a little breakdown. Not a breakdown, that's a bit extreme, but going through something. It'd be nice to hear your comments and stuff. But yeah, that was my Philippines experience. Like, when I went to Cebu, like, I had an amazing time. I was by the beach, I was sipping cocktails, I was lavishing my tan. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole holiday wasn't a washout. I don't want to sit here and say the whole holiday was a washout. The first week was diabolical. The second week was amazing. It wasn't amazing, but compared to the last week, the week before, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was beautiful, but there was a downside to the beauty, which I thought that, you know, I should share. Because if I sat here and told you about my Philippine trip and I was like, oh, it was amazing, it was so great, I would have been lying out of my ass if I was sitting here and doing that. So I'd rather just tell you how it is from the beginning. And yeah. So sorry about my emotional stint. I'm alright now. Sorry, I was crawling for tissue. I was like, oh, tissue. Sorry about my emotions getting like overwhelmed, but it was kind of, because I spoke about it, but I've never really gone into detail about it. So this is the first time I've ever gone into kind of like detail about it. So yeah, I'm a bit embarrassed now, but anyway. Well, I shall see you soon. Hopefully I'm more pumped and got my list back. Yeah, so have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.